The year is 1952.
Nope.
The king is dead.
Yep.
Long live the queen.
There you go.
Queen Elizabeth. God rest her soul. She just passed away. So Johnny came in and said something that just really kind of, I was like, man, it's laid on me.
Well, yeah, I have to give my wife credit for this. She's going to be very excited about this video.
Okay.
Because she loves the queen.
She's one of those queenophiles.
And our dear friends Ron and Beryl, she's been talking to them, to our wonderful friend Beryl over in the UK, in England, about this whole thing. But I just, so
just give it to me. Give me the sentence.
I just got to thinking after talking to her. Queen Elizabeth has been the queen for the entire history of rock and roll for the whole world as we know it. Like there was no rock and roll before her. And up until she just passed away, that was it. That
blew me away when you said that, because I was like, that is hilarious and true. She is the queen of rock and roll.
She is.
It is. There's been no other reigning monarch, like obviously for England, but for anyone really that just survived. Like she came in at 25 years old.
Yeah.
Sort of like a little past the prime of a rock and roll fan girl, but I don't think that was her jam necessarily, but. Man.
But I think I saw February 52 was when she was, she became queen. That was this like Telecaster time, right? That's first year of the actual Telecaster. But even on Wikipedia, it says that Chuck Berry's first active year was 1953.
I mean, active year with a guitar or with ladies?
I'm gonna say they go hand in hand.
God bless him. The 355. My apologies. No, it's amazing. Like she witnessed the birth of rock and roll.
Yep.
And to what we are now.
Yes.
All the transitions from disco and hip hop and heavy metal to
all of it,
drum and bass, the most important genre of all those things, like sub 1998 to 2001.
It's true.
To the Backstreet Boys, to BTS, to Justin Bieber. She's followed all of like the Disney stars' rise and falls, and the Hannah Montana to Miley Cyrus riding a flying hot dog through her tour. It's but no, the Beatles.
If you're the Queen of England, you have to smile a little bit to think about the British invasion, where you invade the culture of the stupid colonials.
That we shook off the shackles of
and they're
colonialism.
No, we want to be you guys. No. We want to be the Beatles again.
And then they did it again with Oasis. But back to the Beatles. Isn't that funny though? Because she was sort of in this. She was a little bit older, obviously, than they were, but it's crazy. Like she was like a young woman, by today's standard, like a young mother.
Oh yeah.
Like would have been like, oh my god, and the Beatles. If the Beatles came out today, and they were popular, like that, young moms would be into that music.
Heck yeah, they'd be making TikTok videos.
I mean, I think Queen Elizabeth was probably gross. She was probably listening to Lawrence Welk and that stuff more, but I don't know. I'm not going to disparage her in that way because she just passed.
I mean, to my knowledge, she never railed against any of that stuff, right? And a lot of those guys end up being knighted. Sir Elton John, Sir Paul McCartney. I mean, so
Sir Eric Clapton's knighted, right?
I think so.
If you're not, it's absurd.
He should be.
I mean, Donald Trump's been knighted apparently. Okay.
That's different. We can't go down that road. That's different. Different talk.
No, but it is amazing. It's it's weird that she saw it all from this weird sort of telescopic view, but also from the epicenter of the greatest rock and roll bands in the history of music.
I think so. I mean,
the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. I'll put the Who in there, but all the.
Pity mention.
I mean, it's not really our jam,
but they're fantastic. Don't it's fine. Let the hate flow. It's cool.
Well, I mean, it's Zeppelin and the Beatles. It's just all
right.
The Yardbirds. No, but
even Hendrix, it was not happening here. It was happening.
We got to get part of that to.
Darn you, Brits. But yeah, I mean,
sometime. It's a fascinating. It's the most important time in our musical history, obviously, and it all stems from this weird place, the small island.
Yeah.
A lot of it, rock and roll. Don't get me wrong. I'm an Elvis, Chuck Berry, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Buddy Holly is my jam, but the bands.
But they took it. It's funny because
the Rolling Stones, they were from there too, right?
Well, I just started. We've read Who Were the Beatles, and I just started Who Are the Rolling Stones.
They were a band from England.
They were a band from England, but it's funny because the thread that ties all those things together is that those folks, they were listening to American records.
Yes.
You know, I was talking about Mick Jagger would literally call and like order chess records, and that's what he was listening to. You know, and they're listening to Muddy
Well, I know
Waters,
Keith
and they're
Richards
listening
was
to-
obsessed
Yeah.
with Buddy Holly.
That's right.
Because like he was the first American artist that was like writing his own stuff and get ready to produce his own stuff and start his own label maybe. And then that plane crash happens and it ended all that and got to keep the studio system for decades to come. And the label system.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's another story. So no, we just, this is more of just a fun piece we're doing
It is.
today. Just having a little fun, just talking about like how this one monarch.
It's just perspective, right? I mean, like you think about rock and roll as like ancient history when it started. I mean, it's not. You know, there are people alive who were there for the beginning, but it's just weird to think there was one Queen of England the whole time.
Now I don't know if this is true because I think I just saw somewhere that someone just passed away that was born in. No, it couldn't have been. It must have been died a little bit. It was born in 1900. Like lived through the. Can somebody live to be 122
Yeah.
years?
I mean, conceivably, yeah. That's, I mean,
That do to experience that this because this has been the most dynamic century in the history of mankind. Like the year 1900, the 20th century. So that was the most dynamic. More changes, more world upheavals, major wars, genocides. Electricity becoming a common thing.
I was gonna say just technology. I mean,
supercomputers in our
right.
pockets, going to the moon. We're finally going back after 40 years.
I mean, imagine being born where the primary mode of transportation was still a horse and maybe train, and now we got Teslas. You know,
And flying cars.
not that I care about that. I kind of like my big gas guzzling trucks, but
I saw something like he was like, it's like I could have gotten like the guy just bought like this really new truck. He's like, I could have gotten the new electric one. You know, I got this one because I'm not a pussy. And I was like, that was really funny.
Baxter and Jonathan hate the world, the environment.
No, I like that. I want to get an electric car eventually, but I don't have a garage, so I can't plug it in anywhere.
It poses issues. Yeah,
You know, so when you live in an apartment, it's a little bit of a different. Well, you can just go, and then you look at LA and they're like, no, it's perfect in LA. It's the best lead. It's like, well, there's an hour wait for your charging thing, and there's rolling blackouts in certain.
I was gonna say,
and there's like, nah,
don't charge your car.
maybe not.
Gotta have an
perfect.
electric car. Maybe, yeah. Still,
So
there's some bugs to work out.
I'm still ready. I'm really to get into it. Somebody will just give me a garage one day, right?
I'd try.
There's an outlet out front of the guitar shop that hangs from the ceiling that could run to the car.
Totally safe. Totally fine.
That's probably a bad idea, isn't it?
I don't know.
I've done it before. Like I plugged something out there right now.
I don't know.
No, so hats off to all you Anglophiles over there and like the Queen and the monarch lovers. Like it's pretty amazing woman that you guys had there.
She really, I was not
pretty amazing.
aware of all of her accomplishments and contributions to just charity and just so many. I mean, she did a lot of cool things.
And I know it wasn't her getting to have the dismantling of the colonial system sort of started prior and then sort of continued the establishment of the Commonwealth, which is hopefully a positive thing there too. But mainly just like what a cool thing. It lived through this crazy time in history, just after a major world war.
Yep.
Where fascism almost took over the entire, European went dark there under the boot of that. And then, just to live through rock and roll and see it.
Which I think is an expression of freedom, right? And all the good things that are anti-fascism. So
that's why American Eagle reigns supreme always. Yeah. And we're going to send over a spiritual England and thoughts and prayers to the funeral happening pretty soon.
Right. It's true.
But thanks for joining. We just thought this was a lot of fun. It's a love letter to Christy too, Jonathan's strange mistress. Don't tell your wife.
Shh.
It's a secret. Thank you. Click like, subscribe.
Hit the bell. She would be. The only way she could be more excited is if we talked about Harry Styles for like an hour, but whatever. We'll do what we can. Also British.
No, I'm not going to talk about it. That's
There's
it.
a thread.
Sorry.
That's it.
We already did a video talking about
did.
that once, and I'm done.
She was very excited about that.
Done.
Done.
Michael Jackson still just spits him out.
It's true.
Still
She'd agree with that. She's on board with that. Yeah.
Ta-ta.
It's ridiculous comparison.